Welcome to the BMI Podcast, guys. I'm going to get into it, I'm sitting here with Judith, and this is our first time sitting down together and going to run over things. We're discussing the event that we went to yesterday. It's a bit of a milestone for yourself. You've never been to a corporate event or anything that's got to do with motivation or sales or anything like that. And I've just got a few questions for you, and you can just answer organically. Doesn't matter if you make mistakes, if you trip over your sentences, it doesn't matter. All right? So that was your first time, right? Being to anything like that.
Yeah, it was.
Are you going to just do this the whole time, are you?
No.
Okay. So what did you think when I first actually said to you, hey, well, by the way, we'll give you a bit of a preface as well, as I ended up seeing an event that I wanted to go to, and it happened to fall on Judith's birthday. And I messaged her and said, well, what do you think about that as a birthday present? And obviously you weren't too happy about it, right?
Yeah, well, I didn't really know. I think I saw that it was a whole day thing, and I was like, oh, God, it's going to drag on. But then I think I looked into it, and then I saw that it wasn't just one speaker for 8 hours.
Yeah.
Because I think that wouldn't be great.
Yeah.
That would be a bit like, I don't know, you wouldn't be able to focus all on it. And I can't really sit through things. I thought it was going to be more like, I don't know, like kind of like if you're, what's it called, like a uni
lecture.
Yeah,
like
that's what I thought.
Lecture for the whole day.
Yeah, like I thought there'd just be a boring ass person standing there. Yeah, just telling stuff that I wouldn't understand anything, and half the stuff I actually didn't understand, but
Yeah, and I don't think most people actually do understand when they go to a conference or when they go to a motivational speaker or anything like that. I feel like they go there to pick up some golden nuggets, and it is long days, eh? Like how did you find just sort of sitting there and just dealing with the whole deal? It's your first time, so like I kind of knew what I was getting myself into. I've been to 3 or 4. I really like them because they always motivate me. Like I always sort of get hyped up, so it's kind of while you're going through the day, I kind of think to myself, like you just got to do it. Like by the end of the day, you'll be able to stretch your legs, or you'll be able to go and not be and have
although
a pain.
We didn't get to.
Well, we stretched our legs. We went straight to the gym, right?
Yeah, sort of.
So how did you find that part of it? That was the first half, was
the
doable.
First part was good. I actually really liked the first part, and then the start of the after lunch break was good too. But then it just, I think the one guy I can't remember what it was, but I think he drained me a bit. The host, I think, when he
the David Goggins marketer.
The
one that did the marketing for David Goggins. By the way,
Maybe.
The event we're talking about, it was a David Goggins event, and we didn't really know. I knew that I wanted to do something like this because I've been motivated to just try and go as hard as I can in business this year, and I thought it might be good for you because we've been working our butts off, and it's always good to get some sort of motivation, even though motivation isn't always everything, but it's always good to sort of see or be around things and touch the greatness, I guess, and so I've looked up, I saw this event, and we didn't really have any backstory.
Did it get advertised to you?
Yeah, it just got advertised to me, and I thought, I know that I get benefits out of these sort of events, and I thought it might be something interesting for yourself to go to.
I did get heaps of ads for it on the Little Cherry when I was scrolling, the reels. Heaps of their ads came up, and yeah.
Well, that's that guy that drained you. He did all those ads, so you know how he's saying.
No, I think it was the other one I'm talking about, but that's right. Anyway, they did do good ads, like he said. He made a good point. He was like
and it was the same ad.
When
remember how he was saying a lot of people
try. It was a pretty boring ad too. Didn't really stand out. I think I only clicked on it because you'd talked about it, and then I clicked on it and I was like, oh, okay.
Yeah, and then you clicked on it again because you knew that you were going.
But then I actually I got more of the girls that I actually follow. All of their ads came up too with their photo, and then I was like, oh, actually I recognize them, and then I realized that they were going to the same thing.
Yeah, that was quite a
same
nice
event.
surprise for you, right? Like, you actually knew more of the other speakers more than
all the
main...
Kiwi ones, I guess, because all the other ones I didn't even know about, the American ones.
Yeah, you didn't know you didn't know the main act.
Yeah, not
to be
really.
honest. Yeah,
No.
and so like, what was that like seeing those Kiwi women up on stage? Inspiring.
Yeah. Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you want to give any more detail? Did they, you told me how you said, it's crazy to see what can be done, Who did you like the best out of those three? Those three Kiwi women.
I actually liked the Zuru girl. Like, she spoke really well. Yeah. Although I don't know if he asked, because I kind of wish as well she just spoke up and didn't do like an interview style.
And did her own speech like the other two.
Yeah,
sort of did,
yeah.
Sort of told
I think
us.
that would have been good to hear more of her backstory. But yeah, I definitely liked what's her name, Ia or something?
The girls in Invest.
No, the other
one.
one.
The one
the
that
one in
does
the
the
white.
waist trainer. Yeah.
That
was quite interesting. So she got more stage fright than you are getting right now. No, well, like that was quite, like it's, that was very, because imagine that, like she's still young as well, right? Like she's what, 27, something like that.
No, I think she's a bit old. Didn't she say 30 something?
30. Yeah. But she was 23 when she broke through with her waist trainer. That's right. Yeah. And that imagine being in that scenario. You think it's hard to just sit here with me, and then we just got a camera going, like shit. And she did really well to bring that back home.
Oh yeah. Yeah, I couldn't imagine doing that.
Yeah, pretty scary stuff. Like, even myself, that's sort of that. What was one of those speakers saying? That's one of the worst. It became the most feared thing for humans now, public speaking, and then second is death. Used to be always death and then public speaking, but it just took over on the.
Oh really?
Yeah, he was saying it just took over on the polls or something just recently. Like, that's how big of a. I think that's got to do with society as well. Like, a lot of the kids can't talk to anyone now, like, because they're all in their phones and stuff.
Yeah,
like it's quite interesting. Like that now, that's taken over.
Yeah, it's definitely a scary thing for a lot of people.
Did you get any nuggets of gold from her? Do you remember anything? What was something that you were quite impressed that she did, or?
Was it her or was it the other one that mentioned the 1% better every day? I think it was the first. Was it her?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, because
I can't remember if it was.
She was talking about, I think, was it digital marketing or something, or influencer marketing, and then sort of how, I think she even talked about how she had bad publicity or something like that, along with her. What was the celebration boxes that she was doing, and then she was sort of kind of dropping the ball on that, and then just realizing, like, I think that's what made her think about that 1% better, because she realized, like, man, I'm good at this, but I am unable to deliver on what I thought I could deliver on, and then that became quite a lot, and then she also got so much bad publicity from it, right? I'm getting visited by our doggy. Get out. Out you go. Out. There you go. Break the ice for you a little bit.
You look so upset.
Do you have any questions for me then? If you want to try and bloody think outside the box, like what? Ask me some questions.
Who was your most favorite speaker?
Wow. David Goggins definitely was my favorite speaker. I didn't learn the most from him.
Yeah, that's what I felt like. He didn't really, as much as all the other ones, kind of.
But he was there for the motivation.
But yeah, exactly. He was. Yeah. Yeah, I guess he was. Yeah, and it was very motivating.
Yeah, but I would say the guy that I probably learnt the most from was probably the most annoying guy to me as well, which was that Aussie bloke that does the marketing. Like they did the marketing. Like
Wait,
he was a bit like he.
Which
I think
one?
the
Not
one
the
that
crypto one.
No, the one that does
the other one.
the one that does the marketing for David Goggins.
I learned a lot from him too.
He actually was really good. I kind of wish I felt like maybe he was rushed because man, he went through the slides and it was just
That's right. Yeah.
It was just like bam, 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 and I was like, man, there was a lot on that slide, and he just like straight past it. And I was like, well, did he?
And you missed like no. I think he was. Yeah, I think he was just. Maybe he says it. What I was watching was he was saying it, and he'd already said what was on the slide. I think so. He like skipped through.
And his mic was cutting out.
That's
and I kept thinking he was like a stutterer. And it was just sort of like...
No, yeah, he was actually really informative.
He had really good, approaches towards marketing that like I kind of would like to learn from him. And, you know, like he was probably the one I like... And by the way, to give a bit of, I guess, a background on this event, like... that was something that I didn't like about it too much as well. Like everyone was there to fucking sell you hard.
Yeah.
Other than David Goggins, who's the guy who's getting paid the most. Like, you know, like I guess he's getting paid the most, so he doesn't need any of the money. But like these guys are turning up and they're I don't know whether I would call it predatorial. We all kind of know what we're getting ourselves into. I don't think people signed up for fucking hard sales from these sort of people. Like I think it would have left a sour taste in a lot of people's mouth if they didn't understand or didn't know what they were getting themselves into. Sort of like yourself, like I kind of lucky you were sitting next to me and I was sort of pre-warning you what's about to come. Oh, here we go, and then he's gonna tell us that to head off to the tables, you know, create that scarcity. Like, oh guys, I'm only doing 50 people. You got to sign up right now. Go, and they kind of like really. After a 45-minute spiel of why they're so great, like it's just it's kind of like I like the two girls that they just gave us their story and they didn't try to sell anyone.
Yeah. Well, whereas and then I felt like I learnt more from them, whereas the other ones they kind of bragged on a little bit and then didn't really teach us much. Like they or like they kind of just said why they're the best and why you should buy from me. Like, yeah,
it's funny and like for those guys out there, like we're going through a world where we're just trying to filter out the bullshit. Yeah, like it's quite annoying, and people might even be like saying, "Oh, well, Aaron's been doing these podcasts. Like, when's Aaron gonna be giving me some bullshit?" You know, like, or you know what I mean? Like that's because everyone's just got their guard up now. They're all sort of defensive, and they're not really wanting to let anyone in. Like, I get it for those. Like, they don't even hide it. Half of them, you know, but they can't. But it's sort of, I guess, smoke and mirrors. They're kind of like, oh, look at this, and I can do this and that and that. But a lot of the people don't understand in the world. It is all down to you, and there's always going to be some suckers that like for the people that fall for the stuff. Oh, I'll do it all for you. Like it's done for you. What is it? Is it that guy came out as like, oh, passive income? There's no such thing. Yeah. Like, and Andy Vasella says it all the time. It's like, fuck your passive income. Work your butt off, and then you earn that ability to because he said I didn't have multiple businesses. I had one business, then I built my empire, and then it allowed me because I built such a great business. He brought other people into it. Do you know what I mean? Like other people came to him with the deals, so then he became, I guess, the guy to go to invest. So he just invested, and then he'll get that. Invest in that business, and then he'll get that passive income from there. But he always talks about how he never got the passive income until he made it. Now you got to make it first. You got to get your big, I guess not your cash cow. You got to get the thing that breaks you through that ceiling and brings you to that next level. And then he says that the opportunities come to you.
Yeah.
And I feel like you could build the little cherry into something like that. That's why I wanted to take you there. I wanted to see if it would spark anything for you, like or even just seeing what's possible.
Yeah.
Any other questions for me? I'll ask you a question. So she was your favorite, right?
Mm-hmm.
All right. What did you like the most about her story? Did you feel like, some people, they go to those and they kind of, they see someone like her and they kind of get a bit mad.
that she's got everything and they don't, or
that she's got everything, but not only that, like some people would go around and be like, oh, well, she got lucky.
Nah, she definitely didn't. I reckon she put in the hard work too, like, and what's your foot? And you can see that she did, like from all the photos she showed how she was living in her house and had all the boxes and all the supplies and stuff. Like, that's not an easy thing to do, is to execute on your supplies and stuff and send them out properly. Like, she did. It looks like she's done a lot and she's worked really, really hard.
Yeah, I'm glad you think like that, because some people see that and then they go, oh, what's the saying? They will be like, oh, that could have been me, but this scenario, or that could have been me, but that scenario. And
I like that she also had like her vision board, and she had had something set in her mind that she wanted, and I don't even think she even showed. The vision board was, by the way,
I'm pretty sure
it was like a mansion lifestyle block.
She did show the photo of the
mansion. I'm pretty sure that's actually her house too, the one that she showed in the beginning.
Something very, very similar.
Yeah, because I've seen photos of her actual house, and it's very grand, and obviously a lifestyle block, I think, as well. So yeah, like, it's very cool that she found something she could set her mind to. And
well, that's the power of visualizing. Like, it's weird, I don't really give it enough credit, but I kind of look back after I've visualized something, maybe like after having it for a year or two, and then I was, holy crap, I remember thinking about this. And I've told you about the development. I told you about I think it was, what else was it? It was just all of the, like, the buying a second house, buying my third house. Like, there's so much of my visualizing that has come to life. You know, I'm visualizing having a partner to be a part of my life, and, you know, like a proper teammate. Like, that's what I was visualizing. It's really hard to explain, and then the more you actually try and visualize and think with actual, I guess, details, you think back to them and you're like, man, that's actually come true. Like, even you listening to one of our other podcasts the other day, you were sort of saying how
you mentioned something in it.
I was saying, well, we're currently working on like, we want to buy a house.
No, first you said employing people, and then you were like, and we're slowly getting it. We're trying to sort out all this stuff
our accounts
to get me into a first house, and then I was like, holy heck, that's like actually all happening.
Yeah, that's
well,
crazy.
It's already happened. Like,
yeah, I want to go back, because I actually want to do a podcast on the little cherry. I wanted to be our little warm up, so you're a bit comfortable and you can understand that it's not super scary. But what did you actually get from that you think that you might from the event? What did you get from it that you might think about implementing with the little cherry, actually, with our business?
I definitely want to post more content.
It's good for that, eh? It makes
it gives you a bit more motivation to, like, even just put out not shitty stuff, but just anything.
But even then, what was her, like, there was the Girls That Invest, her podcast photo shoot that she thought was a photo shoot.
Oh yeah.
Do you remember? Did you see that?
I don't know if I don't know if I.
So she was talking about the beginning of her podcast and how she thought that was really professional, and
I was there. Yeah, where she took a photo in her bedroom of
with her and her mate with an iPad, little, MacBook out or something like that, and her thing, and but like, do you? It's quite funny. You have to go through, like, we were saying that on our walk we just did. You have to go through those cringy stages, or those. It's just growing pains, like you've got to put yourself out there. And I think for you, like, I wanted, well, it was not just for you. I also think for me, that's why we're on a podcast the next day. I said to myself, like, man, I can't go around blaming anyone, because I've had these tools available for me. Like, there's not many people that actually have their own podcast studio, and I'm not actively using it because yes, we're super busy,
Yeah.
but I could be putting 45 minutes onto this podcast, sitting with you, or just talking about anything versus us sitting down and scrolling. I definitely scroll, even though I've cut it down. I definitely scroll, still over an hour and a half a day, minimum.
Yeah.
And I thought for you, like seeing that, it's just understanding, like, what is it like? Don't worry about, like, you got to worry about the quality because we'll get there eventually, but you got to practice at it.
Yeah.
I think it's just that fear, right? Like, I think they talked about it a lot, like fear.
Well, the amount of, I've probably got like 10 videos in my drafts on like CapCut and on Instagram that I haven't posted, that I've just been like
really
stacking up, and I'm like, oh, I'll redo that because that'll be better.
Yeah.
But I should just be like, oh, fuck it. Post it.
What was there was like a saying that there were something is better than perfect, like starting is better than perfect or something like that. Like there was something along those lines. I can't remember. Like they were saying it's like go is better than perfect or something along those lines. Just put it out there. It's still, because when you're waiting for perfect, it'll never come.
Yeah.
So therefore, then what's the end result? You just never posted.
Yeah.
Like,
I feel like I shouldn't send you the stuff because every time I send you something, you're like, do this, change this, do that.
Yeah. Sorry.
Yeah, but then
No, but
then it gets in my own head, and I'm like,
I agree.
Oh, and then I'm like, oh shit, okay, then I'll do that better, and then it just never gets posted because I'm like, oh.
Yeah, well, they talked about that a lot. It's just that fear and our own inner monologue, and just we talk ourselves out of so much stuff. Like, look at you now. You're doing way better, by the way, and like. Before you got that anxiety, that stage fright. You were worried that we're literally just us two sitting in a room, babe. Like, but because you think that might eventually be posted, you start acting differently. Like, we need to let go of that detachment of, I guess, that fear of people thinking we're stupid or we're caring about how others think. I know it ain't easy. I have that fear. That's what I told you. I think it was yesterday's. When we were driving home, was that was one of my things. Is I am struggling to let go of who gives a fuck. Like, I can't. I'm still worried about posting certain content. I'm worried about not. I guess I'm worried about not looking like I know what I'm talking about.
Oh, yeah.
And not being able to portray the experience that I have.
Yeah.
That's something for me. And then because you just see some of these. What do you call it? Like polished, like content creators, and they're like, man, they say that exactly how I want to say it. Do you know what I mean? I see that and I go, man, that's exactly the experience that I have to give to others, but I can't spit it out of my mouth just like them.
Yeah.
I reckon you shouldn't. I reckon you shouldn't send me the stuff. I reckon you should just post it.
Yeah.
And then. I apologize. I reckon you should tell me, don't critique me, or it will hinder me.
Yeah.
So I need to be like, okay, unless you come to me and go, hey, did
I like
you like that?
Little, yeah.
Because I like them all, by the way. Yeah. I do have that problem because it comes from project management.
Yeah.
It'll be like from doing anything in a building. I kind of be like, well, no, you did a really good there. And like, it's not even me trying to be like, a critic or to be negative or anything like that. I would be like, oh, for next time, make sure you do this.
Yeah.
It was like
there's always improvement, but it's just like that's not what we want to do right now. We should just get them out.
Yeah.
And then like you will improve, but
well, it's inevitable.
Yeah.
I think, like I look at the podcast and just listening from our first podcast and even to now. Like, it's not even just like the setup that it's gotten better. It's more actually being able to talk. And then also, like, I find me giving the experience, I have able to get you here and get you to relax and get someone else on. That's one of my goals as well, is I want to reach out to other people and I want to actually meet new people and use this as my apparatus to get to know more like-minded people. And I need to get out of my own head and because I think to myself, like, man, if some dude hit me up that's only got 50 subscribers across the board, why bother? Yep. But in my head, like, if I actually was that person getting asked, I'd be like, well, what have I got to lose? I could learn something off someone else. It gives me experience if I ever need to go on a bigger one. You know, like you can think like that, and that's where I need to, what as the saying goes, get out of my own way.
So what was a golden nugget that you picked up from?
Golden nugget. It was from that Zuru girl, actually. Like it seems to be the one that I've swung back to, you know, when they said, look to your person next to you and say to them what your golden nugget was, and, you know, they gave you 60 seconds to chat to the person that you don't know. And I said to him, I was like, for me, it was, I guess, this woman's built a $20 billion business and along with her brothers, and she kept piping on about the team, like making sure you hire as best you can, like make sure you've got everything, and you got to be strict, and you got to make sure you get the right people. And I think we need that, and I think we've built ourselves up into a position where we can do that with the business, but we will be taking a step backwards in revenue or income. But does that ultimately matter? Like, if we get the right person, they are going to result in revenue, more income. Like,
they need to get paid more because they're probably better at what they do, but that's fine.
And I feel like we need to let go of that part, like, you know, and that was the one for me, how she was saying, you know, it's all about your team. It's all about the hiring right and making sure you've got the right people believing in your vision. And like, that was one of them for me. If you can think of one, like, interrupt me. You know, don't worry. Like, I'll keep going until. And
I'm not very good at remembering
sort
of stuff.
Yeah, it would be good to actually bring the notebook out and talk about what else was there. What's another golden nugget I sort of got from that? It was good for me for David Goggins, how everyone was going to him, the interviewer was trying to get a golden nugget out of him, and that's the funny thing, is like, there is no golden nugget.
Yeah, you got.
And so if you can say that is the golden nugget, is you got to just work harder than everyone else. And then you can look at all of those speakers and everything up, and everyone that stood up there, and they're working their butt off as well. You got to think about that. They're not in roles that is passive income, other than the crypto guy. He was the. They're always going to be like that. That's what they're selling. They have to go around and make sure that they keep showing face so that no one sells, because that's when they all lose. Is when they all, so they have to have advocates constantly going around being like, don't sell, because it all ultimately can collapse. You can make money off of it. I just worry with the crypto stuff. It's not my area of expertise. So like, what I also got from the event was how they were saying, like, go all in on yourself, you know, like, build yourself up. And I feel like if I put my money into crypto and sit and waited, like you could have been putting better with that money. I could have multiplied it by 10 by actually putting that money into myself, or our investments, or property, you know, which I know about. So that's kind of what I have to. It's hard to like ignore that, because you do see the success stories, and it does happen. I just need to be okay to accept that that's not my story. And be grateful for and happy if we have anyone close to us that becomes a multimillionaire, you know, off of the crypto, and has pulled out of it and is making great moves with that money.
Well, that's their thing, right?
Yeah.
If they do that, then
because I'm eventually going to be doing that with our business, and then also with property development. Like, we're going to win no matter what, and that's a guarantee. And I already know that in my head, and it's just sure that's a part of my universe, at least. Like, I don't even know how to explain it. That's my thought pattern.
Yeah, he was a bit boring to listen to. I wish I'd gone and grabbed my coffee when he was on. I
know, right? Were there just heaps of people just to give a bit of context at this event? We definitely got we got scammed from the get-go. So like you could even say that this whole event was like pretty much like it wasn't a scam, but like there definitely were sour tastes left in a lot of people's mouths.
Well, it was more like they didn't really give you the schedule. They just said opens at 7:30. So everyone shows up at 7:30, and doors open at.
They showed up at 7.
Yeah, it opens at 7:30. Doors were not open until 8. Yeah. Right, probably
8:15.
Yeah,
is when the doors open.
Yeah. And then, because I think it said something like registration. Yeah, you could. I thought it started at 8:30 or something. So then I was like, oh, everybody's got to be here by then. And then
and then also in our tickets they said, we got priority entry over for the VIP tickets that we bought, and then that was the hoax as well. So we thought we had priorities. Entry. We left not so big line to go. To go and ask, like I left to go ask the question to the security guard. She said, yes, you guys go on gate C. So then I head down to gate C. There's no one standing in front of the door. I go down to gate A and ask them, and they're like, oh, no, everyone's in the same line. And I was like, what the hell? Then why is someone telling me this? After I called you and told you to leave our spot in the line and then come down to me, and I was like, oh my goodness. Then we got told by another person they're around the back. So then we walked all the way around the back, and then we started heading to there, and we were like, what the hell, it's just stairs. And then we even saw one of the speakers, and I asked them, are you going to the VIP? And they're like, no, I'm a speaker. Which is pretty embarrassing actually, but then we just jumped the queue because we saw that people saw us going through whatever,
like, just standard quickly, like it was fine.
Yeah, but they saw us going through what they all went through as well. I'm pretty sure they were like, yeah, we brought VIP tickets too, like there's no difference.
But then we got really good seats, so
we did.
Yeah.
Yep. We've got to be grateful. Everything sort of happens for a reason. We almost got towed at the end of the day. Like everything was a matter of like fell into seconds. Like I was sort of. I'm glad it was because it was your birthday, and imagine if like everything just turned to shit like that,
But yeah, I missed out. Wow, missed out on half of the start of the first speaker because. I had like 15. It was like, or was it like 8:30?
No, you were out there for over an hour. You were out there for
really?
An hour. Yep.
Well, so I waited in line and
8:30 you went out and you came back at like 9:40.
There was only 2 of them in the cart.
Yeah.
As well, one girl on the machine, and I'm sorry, she was so slow. She was like incredibly slow. But then they also had like acai bowls. So
they were making food.
They were making food and the coffees, but the girl taking orders never stopped to help her. She just kept taking orders. So she did tell me, she was like, it's going to be 20 minutes. I was like, okay. I was like,
but it was
that's
40
all right.
Minutes after you said it was going to be 20 minutes, and I was laughing because I knew that the girl that was on was someone that you probably wanted to watch.
Yeah,
she was quite good. It was quite interesting to see for her. So she had a world-leading podcast. Like it was
trending
as
number
one for a while. a few weeks.
Well, she thought it was going to disappear, but it stayed at number 1 for quite a while.
And
that's why she was trying to get into all of the.
Yeah, she wanted the clout. She was chasing the clout.
Yeah,
but that's what's quite cool. Well, no, like you just stay at number 1. Do you know what I mean? Like you earn that spot, then the clout comes. Like I found that's what I thought with mine. I was like she did her podcast for years before, and then it for a whole year, and then it all of a sudden gained traction because it was during COVID, So a lot of this stuff has got to do with timing, but it's also got to do with timing as well, time in the actual thing that you're doing. So
because you're getting better at it too. Like
you're getting better, and then once you get picked up, your content is actually like premium compared to when you first started. Like some people want to just blow up straight away, and I'm thinking to myself, like with the podcast, at least we're building gradually, gaining a follower here and there, getting people coming back and telling us, like giving us good feedback, which gives us some motivation to keep going.
Yep.
But I found that interesting with her, how she was chasing that sort of that clout, and then it made me understand as like, fuck, no one gives a fuck. Do you know what I mean? Like you're out there trying to get that recognition and be like, oh, I'm above Joe Rogan, and then all of the newspapers didn't care, but it showed really, which was really cool about that she kept going, and then she ended up emailing the person
The
herself.
actual, yeah.
It's that power of not taking no for the answer, you
Yeah.
know?
Yeah.
And I think we're going through that at the moment with gaining finance for the development, but I think we can leave it at that. Do you have anything else you want to add about that event? Like any other things that are opened up for you, opened up your eyes? Thanks for listening, guys.
I can't think of anything. Yeah.
Thanks for listening.
Bye.